Welcome to BBC London. I'm Thomas McGill. First this lunchtime, drugs, social media and missed mental health appointments, all factors driving the capital's homicide rate. That's the findings of a report that's analysed police data for 50 murders. The Violence Reduction Unit, set up by the Mayor, hopes to get a better understanding of what causes murders here. As we know, many of those deaths were of young people, with last year having a record number of teenage killings. Lib Peck, who runs the VRU, says knowing why deaths are happening will help prevent future ones.
If we think about, how much more knowledgeable, I suppose, we've become about mental health challenges, we're able to go into a lot more detail about specifically why somebody perhaps isn't requesting the support they need or whether the support is appropriate for them. So that's one area. And the second area is, I think we're probably all familiar with social media being used to sort of play out beef between different gangs and kind of seeing it as a kind of threatening forum in some way to sort of coax people and draw people into very exploitative situations that then often end in violence. But really, I think what those are illustrations of how we can use this type of analysis, this type of research to better predict into the future.
Well, with the cost of living continuing to rise, many across the capital are coming up with money-saving ideas now. A shop in Camden called The Fixing Factory is trying to do its bit too. And they're not only helping locals with money-saving tips, but their work is also benefiting the environment. Aisha Bucks reports.
It's a repair shop for everyday household goods.
Apply the soldering iron just at that end.
Dermot Jones created the Fixing Factory in Camden to help reduce electronic waste and show local people how their electronic devices and items can have a second life.
We had quite a mini avalanche of toasters, because that seems to be the main thing that people buy that don't last long and they end up failing. Quite a lot of kettles, which turn out to be a lot of the time irreparable. Quite a few kitchen food blenders, coffee grinders. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's come from people's kitchens, and also a few printers and a kind of smattering of laptops.
Locals can pop in when they want and are asked to pay what they can.
Oh, here we go, misbehaving bread maker.
Slightly dusty. I didn't want to throw it away because I left it on, which I don't usually, and I came back and it was dead. So it's just great that I can bring it somewhere to see if I can get a bit more life out of it.
And now, how do I reconnect this?
Volunteer fixers are also training local residents at the shop on Queen's Crescent.
It's a very good feeling, yeah, but it's a shared feeling because, as I'm saying, there is a teaching element. So a lot of the times you will just tell them how you think you're going to do it, and the person might get involved with a screwdriver as well, so it's a two people work. So at the end it's a community positive feeling of we did it.
Any item that people have that lasts twice as long is half the natural resources used and, half the cost, because people don't have to go and buy another one, and it's a win-win situation. So we help with saving the planet for natural resources, we help reduce CO2.
The Fixing Factory hopes one day every high street will be able to follow its lead and have a similar repair shop of its own. Aisha Bucks, BBC London.
A group of older Londoners have been gathering at City Hall this morning calling for an end to travel restrictions, which means they can't use their free transport pass before 9 a.m. The perk was removed during lockdown, and now the pensioners want the Mayor to reinstate the benefit. The final decision will be made by the end of the year. Now on Friday, it's Children in Need again, and we've been looking at some young people who have had their lives changed by the charities it supports. Shadwell Basin Outdoor Activity Centre helps young people with equipment that's been tailored for those with disabilities. One of them is 13-year-old Jessica, who has global development delay, which affects her mental and physical development. She's now been able to get out in the water to swim, paddleboard and kayak like never before. Nikki Ford has been to meet her.
On your mark, get set, go!
A kayaking race around Shadwell Basin. These youngsters with disabilities are taking part in a specially designed programme to learn outdoor sports.
Hello, my name's Jessica. I've been at Shadwell Basin
for 3 years now. It has been fun.
13-year-old Jessica has discovered a love of the water.
I enjoy it because I have lovely teachers. In the summer, I jump in and I love that.
Life hasn't always been fun for her. As a baby, she didn't develop as expected.
We found out that she was missing all her milestone development, and she wasn't like rolling around when she was supposed to, and she wasn't talking or sitting up straight.
She was diagnosed with the condition global developmental delay, which significantly affects her physical and mental abilities.
It's like the end of the world. As a mom, all I wanted for her is to be healthy and happy, and I suppose that's all what all mums want. And to learn that she has this condition and she won't be able to, I mean, she will never be the same as all the other children and never have the same opportunities like other kids. It's heartbreaking.
Right, off we go.
But then, through friends at school, she found out about Shadwell Basin Outdoor Activity Centre, where they teach the children high roping, rowing, paddleboarding and sailing, all with adapted equipment.
So she started just quite shy. She didn't really want to ever get wet. When she was climbing, she never went up really high. But now she's like completely changed that around. Her water confidence is like skyrocketed.
The project is paid for out of Children in Need funding.
They don't have a lot, but like this is their only place that they can feel themselves and feel free and do the activities. A really good day is when they all leave with a big smile on their face and they're like, thank you so much.
I am happy and relieved that she can, find this place and she can find happiness and peace in herself.
A lovely project. Now, just before the weather on this evening's programme, we'll be talking about the polio vaccine after an extra jab has been offered to children in the capital aged between 1 and 9 after the virus was found in the sewage system. So would you like to know more about how it works? If so, ping us an email with your question and we'll put it to an expert tonight at 6:30. The email address there is hellobbclondon@bbc.co.uk. And Kate has your weather.
Good afternoon. It has been a very wet and blustery day so far. This afternoon it's turning a little more showery in nature. Still quite blustery though. The leaves just about clinging on to the trees, as you can see here in Perivale. Now this is the heavier rain from earlier, clearing away slowly north and eastwards. Behind it we'll see a few bright, maybe a few sunny spells, but also the potential for some quite heavy showers this afternoon, and it's still going to be breezy. Temperatures reaching 14 Celsius as a maximum. Now into the evening, a few clearer spells, but again, those showers, they're going to be coming up from the south. They could be quite heavy and more frequent as we head through the early hours and into Wednesday. The minimum temperature dropping down to 6 or 7 Celsius. The wind starts to strengthen again as we head into Wednesday itself. So further showers through tomorrow morning. Perhaps a little bit drier in the afternoon. Some brighter spells, some sunnier spells. And temperatures tomorrow around 13 Celsius. It's still going to be breezy. You'll notice in the wings, though, waiting is our next system. Heavy rain on the way overnight, and the Met Office has a yellow weather warning in place for that rain. Now widely 15 to 20 millimetres of rain. Some places could get more, and of course it's falling on saturated ground, so could lead to some localised flooding. That warning in place until Thursday morning.
That's it from me. Check out our Instagram page where there's a lovely film about a woman who couldn't afford her own flat in London, so she decided to make a miniature version of her dream home, and it's pretty impressive. Riz will be here at 6:30. Until then, have a lovely afternoon. Bye bye.